It's time to break the cycle of waste and mess. Time to stop accepting that the way things have been done are the way they should be done. Control-Alt-Delete everything you thought you knew about how to period. We're flipping the script, we're throwing out the book, we're challenging the period status quo. The Diva Cup is eco-friendly, reusable, and offers up to 12 hours leak-free protection. So what are you waiting for? Join the inner revolution with the Diva Cup. The Diva Cup is used for menstrual flow only. Always read and follow the user guide.
Hello, Wildcats. It's your boy Kev coming at you like another birthday for our boy LeVar Burton. And it was a pretty good weekend, pretty busy weekend. And if you think it's because I was watching the NBA All-Star Weekend, that's not it, because that hasn't been worth watching for like 25 years now. But I was just listening to my old Buck Cherry CDs, you know? Anyways, I just want to say thank you to everyone that is listening. And this is just a disclaimer to let you know that we are a comedy and crime podcast. So even though we do cover many true cases and serious events, we do like to throw in some inappropriate jokes and dark humor. So if you're easily offended, this isn't the show for you. But we do appreciate you taking the time to check us out. And if you don't enjoy the show, you know, no hard feelings. Just thank you for giving us a chance. And yeah, I think that's about it. So thank you all for listening. Be good, stay safe, and laugh at the dark stuff. Hashtag Wildman. And now I'm going to go get back to listening to my Buck Cherry CDs. Hey, yo crazy bitch got scratches all down my back and in my butthole, yeah.
All right, fellas, like we practiced.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Come on down. Come on down. Hanging with the brothers tonight, yeah. Come on down to the Brothers Commonplace tonight.
I'm out in the prime cut of the Big Green. Behind me is Ed and Rowdy, members of an up-and-coming sub-adult gang. They're challenging everything, including me. Goes with the territory. If I show weakness, if I retreat, I may be hurt, I may be killed. I must hold my own if I'm going to stay within this land. For once there is weakness, they will exploit it, they will take me out, they will decapitate me, they will chop me into bits and pieces. I'm dead. But so far, I persevere.
Alrighty, welcome everyone to the Brothers Commonplace, a comedy and crime podcast where we cover monsters, murders, mysteries, and more. And today we got a pretty rad, pretty awesome story to tell you. But before we jump into that, I want y'all to meet my little bathtub buddies.
Oh, fuck yeah. What's going on, guys? This is Tim, and I just got back. I was actually a little late today. I apologize. I just got back from filming a new live-action Aladdin movie. A lot of people don't know this, but I'm playing the lovable monkey, Abu. They were trying to add a little more diversity and stuff, just add a little bit more to it. So they changed the name. I didn't really like it, but the new name's a Jew.
Yeah, because they slid his hat back a little bit.
Played by Ben Shapiro.
Dude,
Just played by me too.
You know what pisses me off about that? Not even the Will Smith. That's not the worst part. It's fucking Jafar. Okay, Spence, will you give me your impression of the lamp? How Jafar says it? Give me the lamp. I swear to God, in this trailer, he just goes, bring me the lamp.
Yeah.
So fucking boring and stupid. I hate it.
Somebody cracked a joke that it sounded like a South Park character, and I completely agree.
So I saw someone, I think it was on Reddit, it's like, dude, Jafar sounds so bored. This is the least important thing going on in his day to day. Oh, I'm sorry. We totally got sidetracked. I'm sorry, Spence.
Oh, it's okay. Who is this Spence you're talking about?
I don't know. Who is it?
That's me. I just got back. I just got back from working on a new mobile app we're developing. It's called Fappy Bird.
Oh my God, yes.
You got to keep the bird in the air by stroking.
Oh my God, yes. So Andrew is your first customer?
Dude, he's pretty good actually. He's our test. He's our main game tester.
Dude, I forget whose fucking dad of our friends it is, but they have it's like paper toss where you just flick and you have to shoot a paper ball into a trash can. And I seriously think they have 35,000 makes in a row.
Oh my
Holy
God, fuck
shit.
yes.
It was either Justin's dad or Jason's dad, but they played it for 4 fucking years straight. Every time they're on break.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
How fucking funny that is. I came up with a your mama joke in the last 5 minutes. Me and my buddy Luke had a sleepover at your mama's house, and he had to cut her open to sleep in her because your mama's so fat she weighed a ton.
Fuck yeah.
Like a
man.
ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
Is it called Tauntaun?
And his name was Luke, so it works
Yeah.
doubly. I like it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's tooth, guys.
And it's your boy Kev, a.k.a. the Dirty Dog, a.k.a. Rail Pussy.
Mm.
Oh,
Now,
fuck yes.
Rail boy pussy?
I don't actually know what rail pussy means, but one time when I was like 12 or 13, me and my buddy JP, we were at Cedar Point, and we just got off the Magnum, and the guy that was sitting in the row in front of us turns around and he stares at us and says, "I don't appreciate the comments, boys." And we were just like, what do you mean? And he got up in my face and he said, "You called me a rail pussy."
Oh my God. I hope like that guy was on like some kind of drugs and like he just like really thought you guys did.
So if anyone knows what that means, please let me know.
I mean, we can.
It's as opposed to a fake pussy. A rail pussy.
Yeah. We could probably guarantee that guy's a listener.
So alrighty, I do have two things to mention before we jump into this. We got just two little announcements. The first one being listener of the show, Tom Lyons. He is an author. On Amazon, he has a Bigfoot book series called Living Among Bigfoot. And yeah, he sent an email, said he listens to the show and enjoys the show. So everyone listening, if you could do us a big favor and go to livingamongbigfoot.com, you can download a free ebook copy of his newest book.
Wait, I thought you said he's just giving out one copy.
No, you can go in there and download the ebook. I downloaded it yesterday. I didn't get a chance to read it yet, but fuck yeah, I'm excited about that.
Is it based on a true story?
He actually has a lot that are based on like encounters of truth. I believe in Bigfoot. I know where this is going since the real. What was it? What was the thing I said?
The
in
fake
it?
stories.
Bogus.
The
Yeah.
bogus.
Yeah.
Oh, these
Bogus encounters.
Are these the bogus sightings, Kev?
There's one true story where Kev only got one copy. And that was
Except my dog.
That was his dog.
But no, I'm sure we got a lot of listeners that that love and believe in Bigfoot just like I do. So yeah, check that out. I mean, it's free, and we got a listener of the show who's writing it. Let's support. We got like a.
Come on, Kev. John Lithgow does not listen to this show.
Too busy being in the new Pet Sematary movie.
That's true.
The Commonplace community, we should all help each other out. Let's get a good positive thing going.
That's true stuff.
And second announcement,
Wait.
there's a certain race I'm just really not that fond of. What was that, too?
I'll say, I really don't want to get a positive thing going because last time we told that to Andrew, he made sure that Magic Johnson couldn't play in the NBA anymore. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
but, I mean, look. I mean, he's still fine now. So
Yeah, even after, like my dad, right before the game, actually kissed him on the lips, and he's all right. Who was that? I don't remember. Was it the Knicks? Was it Starks?
oh wait, no, it was Isaiah
Oh, Isaiah Thomas. That's right.
Yeah.
wait, he kissed.
Yeah, right before the game, kissed him on the lips.
to like prove to everyone like everything's fine with Magic. See,
You know what happened? A week later, his house got repossessed, and then he
That
died
makes
of
sense.
AIDS.
A week later, he watched the movie Repossessed.
And then a week after that, he got sorted into fucking Hufflepuff. So it's a real shitty.
So that's a little worse than AIDS, honestly.
Oh,
and that's still not the worst thing to happen. He's also a Detroit fan. We love you, Detroit listeners.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Oh, okay.
Go Tigers.
Detroit's good, man.
Not Tigers, though. Not Tigers.
No, I don't like the
Well,
Tigers.
yeah, we'll say Pistons.
and ICP and Kid Rock, man.
Yeah.
And Eminem.
Oh wait, who? I don't.
Who's that? Who's that
what?
last guy?
There's ICP and Kid Rock. I don't know about Eminem. I mean, he's.
I mean, I hate Kid Rock, but
Sorry.
Oh, we got like 8 conversations going on at once, all about shitty stuff.
It was 1989.
What was your second thing about race?
And then the second thing I wanted to mention is just thank you everyone that's already left us a review, and it really helps us out. We really have a goal of making a splash this year. We want to jump into the iTunes charts, maybe crack into the top 200 for comedy, and we can't do that without you guys. So everyone that's left us a review, that really helps us out. And if you haven't yet and you enjoy the show, if you could do that, that'd be super cool.
thanks, guys.
You guys are the best.
You guys make sure that I'm the captain of the cum squad.
Oh, fuck yeah. You're always going to be the captain of that, dude.
All right, I hope all you brothers and you sweet, sweet mothers brought your camping gear and your bear repellent, because it's about time to take a trip to Alaska and talk about the grizzly man, the myth, the legend, Timothy Treadwell,
The kind
Fuck yes.
warrior.
the kind warrior turned samurai.
Yeah.
I was thinking about opening the episode with that audio clip.
Well,
You really should.
the movie opens with it.
And good news is, I wrote this script about 1.5 years ago.
Yeah,
I found the old one.
Yeah, you didn't have to do
yeah.
anything. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, I did. I looked up a bunch of new shit and added to it, so it's a lot longer.
New stuff. What's he been doing?
Well, I just called you babe. I said, well, babe.
Oh fuck yeah!
Leave that in too.
I was gonna say keep listening, you'll find out. But as soon as I said that, it messed up.
I
So
like that even more.
So Timothy Treadwell, if you don't know who that is, he is the grizzly man. He is a bear enthusiast and environmentalist.
No, I think he hated bears, actually.
He is the kind warrior that must become samurai and the guardian of the, is it Katmai or Katmai? Is it Katmai? Katmai National Park.
Occasionally I am challenged, and in that case, the kind warrior must become a samurai, must become so formidable, so fearless of death, so strong that you will win. You will win. Even the bears will believe that you are more powerful. And in a sense, you must be more powerful if you are to survive in this land with the bear. No one knew that. No one ever friggin' knew that there are times when my life is on the precipice of death and that these bears can bite, they can kill, and if I am weak, I go down. I love them with all my heart. I will protect them. I will die for them, but I will not die at their claws and paws. I will fight. I will be strong. I'll be one of them. I will be the master. Still a kind warrior. Love you, Rowdy. Give it to me, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I can smell death all over my fingers.
So he is the guardian of that area, even though that land that he was going to is a federally protected reserve. That doesn't matter, so shut up all you naysayers.
Federal schmederal.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's what Timothy would say.
He would definitely say that, and not me.
Why does Federal Express need to even own all that land?
Who knows?
Alaska?
I think I know what else Timothy would say.
They're not delivering packages out there.
That's true. We got his, what's the pilot's name in this documentary?
I don't know his name, but he's, wait, it's Kim Green.
It is
I think.
Kevin's dad. He really.
Fuck yes.
We'll mention that later. This pilot in this documentary is pretty much my dad.
The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure the pilot's like my favorite character.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of this.
The coroner might be mine.
So a lot of this information is from the Grizzly Man documentary, and then the other stuff I'll mention when I pull it from other areas. I'll mention that source later on too. I do want to get a lot better at naming sources, so that's something I'm going to work on. So alrighty, here we go. Timothy, he lived in Katmai National Park in Alaska for 13 summers with the bears. However, he no longer lives with the bears because he no longer lives anywhere. He's dead. That's not funny. This isn't. This episode, there's going to be jokes. It's not to be, it's not about just making fun of him. He did.
Yeah.
Then take it back, Kevin.
I take it back. I'm sorry.
Hey, I had a friend who lived with bears. You know what happened to him? He's dead.
He's dead.
Oh my God,
That's a
such
little freaks and geeks.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
But yeah, Timothy, he is a bit of an enigma, and there are a lot of mixed feelings on the guy. Some love him, some think he's a con artist, many think he is crazy. And there is also a lot of debate over him and what exactly he is doing. Like some claim that he is a hero and a sweetheart, but then some say he is a narcissist and an idiot that had mental issues. So, I don't really know for sure. I do feel bad for the guy. I think he had a good heart, but at the same time, he put himself and his girlfriend's lives in danger over a problem that didn't really exist. And the bears, they didn't really need his help. And I think that's why a lot of people don't understand exactly what his point was and what he was trying to do. But we're going to discuss that and talk about some other cool shit.
I don't know, man. He did accomplish a few things. I mean, he fed the bears.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Have fun in hell, Spence.
Oh my God, you're talking about
Jesus
everything.
Christ.
Shit.
Jesus. So
Oh, I didn't get
So
that.
we'll talk a little bit in a minute about the end of Timothy, like what happens to him. As far as his appearance goes, though, the way I describe him when people are like, "Hey, how does Timothy Treadwell?" Yeah, because a lot of people ask me what Timothy
Most
Treadwell
people
looks
do.
like.
Yeah, they're usually like, "Hey, I saw him from that concert live from the Muddy Banks of New York." Wasn't that what that was called?
I don't remember.
It's fucking Nirvana.
Oh shit.
He fucking looks like Kurt Cobain to me.
He does look a little bit like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
I wrote down he looks like Andy Dick with a homemade Matrix costume with a super shitty bowl / squire cut. Hashtag Wildman.
Dude, he looks
sure.
he looks like a more feminine version of the "It's ma'am" guy.
Oh my god, he kind of does. Like where the guy probably would have at first called him ma'am.
I think he's just a long lost member of the band Hanson.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
holy shit, I can see that too. Actually,
And I also put down he kind of looks like that guy from Deep Blue Sea, the one who who's also in The Mist. He kind of reminds me of him.
fuck, Aaron. Was it Aaron Eckhart?
I don't know.
Or was it the
his
other
name.
guy? It's him and the fucking dude that played the Punisher. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
So I do have a pop quiz for you guys right now. It's not really for you guys in the room with me. It's more for our listeners because all these guys know. But it's going to be a little bit of a pop quiz on how did Timothy die? So this is a spoiler alert, but it's multiple choice. Did he die of a drug overdose? Did he die on his homemade Ninja Warrior course?
That's what I heard.
Did he die by falling off a cliff? Or was he eaten by the bears?
Are you gonna throw out like the conspiracy though that Courtney Love killed him?
Or did Courtney Love kill him because he was way too high to pull the trigger himself?
Or was it because he ate gluten?
Toodalooing. If he would have been toodalooing while fucking with these bears, I'd have a lot more respect for him.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think Timothy Treadwell would have had a better chance against the 85 Bears in that defense.
Shit.
Whoa.
Shit, dude.
Damn,
Wow.
Super Bowl shuffle, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, they're not there to cause no trouble. So at the end of his 13th summer with the Bears, Timothy and his girlfriend Amy, they were both killed and almost eaten entirely by the bears. And then 2 grizzly bears, they ended up getting shot and killed because of this as well. So it's a very sad and tragic end for both sides there. But yeah, he would end up being killed and eaten by the bears on October 6, 2003 at the age of 46.
Man, that's how the law of the wilderness works. They take 2 of ours, we take 2 of theirs.
It's fair.
That's fucking right.
So I guess that means he was a Jedi because he had to bring balance. And
He's like the real life Anakin. He was prophesied.
What did he say though? What did he say though, Spence?
I killed them. I killed them all.
The only thing that's like weird is like since they ate Timothy Treadwell, we had to eat one of the bears too. I thought that was kind of a fucked up stip.
People generally believe that black bear tastes better than brown bear, but you can eat either.
Yeah. And these are actually brown. What is it? All grizzly bears are brown bears? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I think you can use that interchangeably, right? Here.
Grizzly is like a more specific term than brown bear. So like grizzly, I think applies more to like the lower 48, not on the coast.
Yeah, I think that is.
So-
I remember here in the lower 48 when I was
More
looking
like
at it.
Idaho, Montana. That's where your grizzlies.
So should I call these brown bears then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like
They're-
Rainn
they're
Wilson's
Kodiak
gonna come
bears,
walking in here in
probably.
a second.
What's that?
I feel like Rainn Wilson's
Well, we
gonna
haven't
come walking in
talked
here in a second.
We haven't talked about his other 2 favorite subjects yet.
That's true. We haven't talked about Battlestar Galactica yet.
Yeah, because Andrew's not here.
So
Battlestar guy with a spatula.
how happy were the cops after they shot those black bears?
Oh my god, dude.
They were brown bears, man.
They were jerks. Dude.
Yeah, I think they love shooting those too.
I think they were like, "Oh my god, you shot that black bear," and he just happened to like find one of Treadwell's like hands beforehand, so he tossed the hand by the corpse of the bear. He's like, "Well, we had to. Look what he did." That fucking bear didn't even do it. He stepped on a landmine.
I heard if there would have been like panda bears, they'd have just been super confused.
Oh my god.
Man.
What do we do?
Do I shoot him or do I not? He's black and white.
It's like the bear version of the black and white cookie.
They just take a little bit of crack and sprinkle it on the black part of the bear. Dave Chappelle skit.
It was this half of the bear that did it.
I don't want to leave any witnesses.
So in an interview that I watched, Treadwell, he is asked, "How can I believe that if you are about to be killed by a bear, that you wouldn't say, 'I made a mistake. I'd like to have a gun'?" Because Treadwell, he never carried a gun or bear repellent with him. This
Or
was
spray. Wow.
This was his answer. "I would never, ever kill a bear in defense of my own life. I would not go into a bear's home and kill a bear." So,
I mean, he kept his promise.
that's true.
Yeah. Well, not technically. He did get killed eventually.
We'll talk about Amy. She's a fucking badass. She goes out in a, like, she does some some pretty badass shit that I wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
I would have fucking ran.
Yeah. I don't know about that whole thing about not going into a bear's home. The bears don't live by that rule. I mean, just ask the gay guy that keeps coming to my house now that I met at the bar like the other night.
Actually, his name's Andrew, and he's an otter.
Wait, if he keeps coming to the house, why the fuck isn't he here now? He just doesn't come over when we podcast, I guess.
He's an otter, so he's like cute and playful.
Bottom. Otters are bottom, bears are tops, I think.
Really?
I didn't know that.
It also describes like body hair and stuff too.
So how does otter box fit into that?
So here we go. On to the early life of Timothy. He was born April 29th, 1957 in Long Island, New York, and he was one of 5 children. He was born Timothy William Dexter, but later changed it to Treadwell, and tread very well he did.
He before he like had an obsession with bears, he had an obsession with dogs, and he always had this obsession with his Labrador.
Yeah.
But he wanted to change his name because everyone kept making fun about Dexter's Lab.
Dude, how the fuck did I not see that coming?
But into like his 5th or 6th year there, the bears had sort of caught on to what was going on, and some of them didn't like it. Like the more redneck bears out in the real sticks, they started seeing them put up these like yellow flags with a snake on it. It was just "Don't tread well on me."
Wait a minute. Who was Dexter's villain in that show? Was it Mojo
It was
Jojo?
Mandark. Growing up, Timothy was very fond of animals, and he even had a pet squirrel named Willie. But what Timothy dreamed of most was growing up to be an actor one day. And he was said to be a pretty ordinary and normal kid, according to his parents. But once he went to college, things started to change for old Timothy Treadwell. He was the star diver on the swimming team in high school, and he went to college on a scholarship for it. But in college, for some reason, he claimed that he was a British orphan who was born in Australia. And most of his friends thought this as well because they met him in college and they just assumed that he was telling the truth. Like, why would you make that up? And they didn't even learn like what his real name was until after he died.
Fuck yeah.
So
Heard he got in trouble a lot when he was a kid too, because like he wasn't actually doing anything wrong. His parents just thought he was, because they'd be like, "Hey Tim, come down here and eat breakfast. What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm up here stroking my willy." That's a squirrel.
Did that squirrel only have one eye?
One-eyed.
it's our time down here.
What if he dubbed it the squirrel attacking the other squirrel because he was rubbing his one-eyed willy and it shot off in his squirrel and made it a one-eyed willy?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude, hell yeah.
And then he started hanging out with Richard Gere and
Oh, fuck yeah, that thing went right up his ass.
He started hanging out with Rod Stewart.
So Timothy, he dreamed of an acting career as he was growing up, and he became depressed when nothing ever came of it. And Timothy, he actually tried out for the role of Woody Boyd on Cheers, but ultimately he lost out to it to Woody Harrelson.
Oh, damn. Hey, second place isn't too bad.
Yeah, huge mistake. It's not like Woody Harrelson's done anything since then.
No. But like my dad always says, and I'm pretty sure he came up with this all on his own, if you're not first, you're last.
Dude, actually, don't think if he would have won that. Imagine now if Timothy Treadwell is about to play Carnage.
That'd be fucking awesome.
And imagine if Woody Harrelson went and lived with the bears instead.
They're like, yeah, so we have a national crisis. Every fucking bear in the world is dead.
And Timothy Treadwell was in Zombieland.
Oh my god.
Well, he still could be in that.
Wait, dude, no, he can't though.
Yeah.
I was saying no, he can't. But goddamn, was that
They
good.
pulled 5 garbage bags of people.
But it could have been the garbage bags.
Well, if they sent like the fucking prop designer on a fucking airplane north.
Well, my dad found out he was an actor in college, and he's like, "Damn, why couldn't that boy just act straight?" All I gotta do is hear him talk for 1 minute. I knew that boy was queerer than a $3 stick.
$3 stick?
Yeah.
Who's paying money for sticks?
And after losing out to this role, this is when his downward spiral begins, and he ended up injuring his back while diving, and he lost his scholarship too. And it was in 1977 when he would drop out. And according to his book, Among the Grizzlies, he had an ongoing battle with alcoholism and drugs, and also paranoia, to the point where he carried a gun and slept with a loaded M16.
Dude.
Holy shit.
Not even a pistol, a straight up rifle.
Like,
That's
Jesus,
awesome.
He's about to fucking kill somebody for sure. But how did he injure himself diving? Like, did he actually like miss the water and like?
He's like, oh shit, I knew we shouldn't have put the pole next to the I don't know
Pile of bricks.
a pile of bricks. I wanted to make a joke about a construction site where that beam is hanging up really high, but it didn't make sense why there'd be a pole next to that and how that would be high. I don't know.
I mean, that's so funny.
I think he actually just got sucked down onto the drain under the pool and held down there.
Oh, I mean,
Is it fucking anyone gonna help me?
dude, I was afraid of that like my whole fucking life.
That shit's scary.
I'm still afraid of that actually. But yeah, like I wasn't sure if like he pulled something or if he actually like just missed the water.
He
at one
pulled
point, or-
something.
I have no idea.
Oh, he pulled. Oh, damn.
And I don't
I'm
know.
ashamed already of saying that.
I got 2 of them.
And I don't know how old he was for this, but he also would end up crashing his family's station wagon, and he was arrested for drunk driving.
Well, disowned.
Disowned.
Okay.
His dad was probably like, you know what, son, we're tired of this shit. Go live with the fucking bears.
I was gonna say the 2 ways he hurt his back was maybe his college was next to the Acme College, so like the Wile E. Coyote painted the pool, and he jumped off and landed onto it on the concrete.
Yeah. Nice.
Or I know Kevin knows the name of this probably, but he was in one of those like competitions where you do high diving, but you're supposed to land all
yeah.
stupid and goofy.
Those are so fucking funny, dude. I love those.
I don't know what they're called, but
I don't remember. I don't know. My favorite's the guy who runs and jumps and like spreads his legs as far as he can and puts his hands like in his
Yeah.
pockets. That's so goddamn
I like
funny.
how he punches his hips too. It's like he's Superman.
Wow. Which is goofier, that or vaping contests?
I'm sure we've told the vaping contest story, but that was so fucking fun.
Yeah, commenting. Honestly, that'd be I don't know if we can stretch onto a Patreon, but like commentary on that was pretty fucking funny.
It was good.
That was good.
And then Timothy, he said he finally found his calling after surviving a heroin and cocaine overdose in the late 80s. And it was after this overdose that he was rescued by a Vietnam vet named Terry, and they would become good friends. And after he was discharged from the hospital, Timothy had decided that he was going to travel to Alaska and watch the bears. And this was said like that Terry had something to do with being like, yeah, man, you should go live with the fucking bears, dude.
I probably
Is Terry actor friend? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I probably the name wrong, but I think Randy Travis wrote a country song about it. Was that the videos?
You know what is just shows that I'm a piece of shit?
What?
I was like a Vietnam vet named Terry, and I just pictured like an old Asian like grab the cricket guy. That's how fucking just shitty my mind is.
I
was like, damn, this fucking old Vietnam guy's got a funny name. Because I just pictured as an old Vietnam vet on the other side.
You could never tell me a name like a guy named Terry where I wouldn't picture Hulk Hogan. Like you honestly couldn't. Like there's no way. I'm always Terry Bollea.
Terry Bollea.
Yeah.
That's where my joke was come from. I was like, after he met Terry, Timothy Treadwell started ripping off his style and dyeing his hair blonde.
You need to go fight with the bears, brother.
Because you can't fight these pythons.
And it was after this moment that Timothy Treadwell, he started living that bear life, and this is where he actually changes his name to Treadwell, his last name. And I think that name was taken from his mother's side or something. I can't remember.
Imagine if Roman like recovers from his illness and has like a total change of mind, and that's what he does.
That'd
He
be
goes
fucking
up and lives in
awesome.
Alaska with the bears.
That'd be fun. Yeah, I mean,
films it all.
Yeah, Roman's spearing every one of those fuckers though. They're not taking Roman.
Like,
now.
how would he talk about bears as opposed to Treadwell?
Very bad.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
saying, he would botch every. No, he got a little bit better on the mic.
Treadwell is funny and has some charisma to him. Roman Reigns did get better.
Yeah, he got better.
He did, I
mean,
agree.
but he still wouldn't have any charisma.
There is a what if promo. Let me just recite it real quick. Oh, I'm going to go fight the bears. What are they? They're just a bitch.
Yeah, and then he would just keep calling him Tater Tot until we all got uncomfortable. Have you guys seen the Tater Tot thing?
I haven't seen that one.
Holy shit!
Tater tot.
It's bad.
Tater
He's saying it
tot.
to Sheamus. It's fucking bad.
It sounds dumb.
The crowd laughed at it once, and then he says it like 100 times afterwards. And like I might not be exaggerating.
So Timothy Treadwell, he made it his mission to stop hunters, poaching, and he wanted to raise awareness about the bears. So he began spending the summers with the brown bears out in Alaska, and he did this for 13 years. He would spend the early weeks of each season in a camping area that he referred to as the GRIZZLY Sanctuary. And this was an open area toward the coast of, is it Halo Bay?
No idea.
Halo Bay, which was a protected area, being a national park.
Thanks, Teddy Roosevelt.
You guys want an interesting update? You guys just got a text from Andrew. Hey, bro, you know any safe YouTube to MP3 sites to use? I think I used one and it acted like it gave me a virus.
Did you actually just get that?
So Timothy, it was in the late 80s when he first started going up to Alaska, and he would do this for 13 summers in a row. And he would camp along the coast, that is the Grizzly Sanctuary area. And then during the early part of the summers, he would camp in an area that was called the Big Green, which is a grassy area in Halo Bay.
And also a nickname of our host.
That is right.
And I was gonna say your dad's dick.
Yeah, and also that soccer movie.
Yeah. Well, no, we don't talk about that.
And then beyond the Grizzly Sanctuary, Treadwell, he would start staying in an area that he called the Grizzly Maze, which was a place that was thicker and more densely wooded. And there was a bunch of intersecting trails, and the bears were just all over here. He said he could get like closer to the bears, and it was easier for him to hide in and make contact with them. So that's mostly where he was going, the Grizzly Sanctuary and the Grizzly Maze.
What was the like test in 8th grade? Like the prefab or something like that? Or what the fuck do
It
we
was
have?
proficiency.
Proficiency test? That's it.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
The only thing more dense than that forest was just me during the proficiency test.
And there's actually this old wise bear who was staying at the Grizzly Maze. This is so fucking dumb. It was just gonna be that he saw Treadwell and he popped up and said the Grizzly Maze wasn't made for you.
Fuck yeah, I was about to crack the joke.
Dude, by the way,
That's what made me think of it, dude. Because Tim is wearing a Westworld shirt.
that's awesome.
Fuck yeah.
And Timothy, he began seeing the same bears each summer, and he began to build relationships with them, and he even gave them wonderful names such as Rowdy, Grinch, Mickey, Sergeant Brown, and Mr. Chocolate.
He would even give them pokes on Facebook, but they would never poke back.
Oh man, wait, Mr. Chocolate didn't even poke back?
I don't think so.
I don't think he
Damn.
did. Yeah.
Does anybody poke back anymore?
I mean,
Well-
I feel like Mr. Chocolate would.
That's because they were sleeping, and you never poke a sleeping bear.
Oh.
That's true.
I don't think Mr. Chocolate ever did poke back because he was too busy lifting that fucking car. Remember Mark Henry?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sexual chocolate.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But Timothy, he did get a ton of amazing footage and close-ups of the bears.
Oh yeah, it's
And
awesome.
Sometimes he even was like touching them and petting them and swimming with them and playing with the cubs. So there's no denying just how amazing a lot of his footage actually is.
The documentary is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. There's so much cool shit in it.
Some of these bears are in therapy, and they're like, show us on this plush Winnie the Pooh where the strange man from California touched you.
He's like, I don't want to say... This is the bear. But I don't want to say, but it was in my butthole. My pubes are my bear pubes are really, really deep. You got to go through the Grizzly Maze to get there.
Well,
How do you know which hairs are your pubes?
But that was the bear that ate him, and that was just him coming out.
yeah, that literally was the last place he touched.
Coming out. God. So one major problem here with Timothy Treadwell, though, nobody really understood what he actually wanted to achieve. Like the locals, they all thought he was doing more harm than good, because the bears, they weren't really in any danger from humans there, and by interacting with the bears, the locals feared that the bears would begin to think that all humans were okay and they shouldn't be afraid of them. And on top of that, it was said that the hunting and killing of bears in this area for the last 20 years was extremely rare. It's a protected area. You can't fucking hunt them here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like, on one hand, it's like it's a nice thing he's doing, and that's good. He's bringing attention to it, but it's like, that's not a problem.
Yeah, it's the wrong spot to be doing it at, but then another spot he would have been dead a lot earlier.
And he was just making it very hard. He just made things difficult for all the people around. Like, even the park rangers and the National Park Service were like, dude, you're probably going to end up getting killed by them. You know that, right? And he just thought he was too smart. And he was just I think he was extremely lucky. And I think he took that for being like, I am so good with these animals. And I think he was just fucking lucky for a long time.
Yeah.
That's like one of them liberal hippie kids putting on a scuba tank and going in the lobster bin at Red Lobster and swimming around with them lobsters thinking they're all safe and everything.
No, I know.
Wait a minute.
I know what
so
he
many
means.
questions.
Is this an
now.
issue in
I
the
know
world?
what he means, dude.
Fuck, those lobsters die, though.
Can you do me a favor, though, too? Can you stop reading from my notes?
We should mention that the information we have here, a lot of it, and your best introduction to Timothy Treadwell is to watch the brilliant documentary called Grizzly Man by Werner
Yes.
Herzog. It's just one of the best documentaries ever made, and it's just all about Timothy Treadwell's life, and it's an incredible piece of film.
It's very good, and you not only get amazing footage, which we're going to talk about some more stuff we see, but you get to watch his descent into paranoia and just fucking madness.
And also just try not to laugh the entire time.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking hilarious.
And we don't mean that in a bad way.
No.
It's fucking.
No.
He's hilarious.
Honestly, but like other things are hilarious. Like you'll see. Like I'm not even gonna give anything up.
Do you hear me, Christ man?
Like,
you
you'll
hear
yeah.
me, Jesus boy?
You're gonna fucking lose it like throughout the whole thing. It's definitely a great watch for sure.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are those the actual real people they're filming, or is that like B actors?
No, that's that. His friend.
Because that's what it feels like.
His friend is a fucking D- actor. We'll talk about him.
Yeah, some of them do feel like they're actors.
I think it's pretty. I think I would expect him to know and hang out with
Those types.
But
people who might be a little strange on camera.
But we are gonna put a ton of audio clips in this episode, so I don't know how many you would have heard by now, because I don't know how many I'm putting in at the beginning. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot, so hopefully you guys are cool with that.
My mom hears that all the time, like from like her friends. I don't know. We don't know how many we're putting in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she told me, she's like, "Go ahead and put it in." I was like, "I already did, and I'm using my thumbs too. Like I don't have much sausage to give. I'm sorry. If you want, I'll just go home." She
like,
said, "Go home," but
yeah,
she's like, "You can go home, but I know you brought Men in Black 2. Leave that."
Oh my God, dude.
What if the mom's like, leave the Men in Black CD, and you know what? Leave those thumbs if you can.
I have to get outside the house and
Take
just
this
reach
off.
him in through the window.
But you just do it with a foam finger. She's like, yeah, this is much better.
So Timothy, when he first started camping out, he made a lot of dumb mistakes. Like he was issued a citation in 1998 because he was carrying around food in his tent, which is going to attract bears. And he also did a lot of illegal camping practices. So the park rangers there, they imposed a new rule because they're like, dude, this guy here, he's following these bears and he's just not following any rules. He's going to get himself killed. So they made something called the Treadwell rule. And what that is, it states that all campers, they have to move their camps every 5 days, at least 1 mile away. So that way the bears won't get too comfortable and that way you can kind of try and move away and stuff like that. But throughout the documentary, Timothy Treadwell's always like, so I am breaking the moving your camp rule. Like he always says shit like that.
Fucking rule, yeah.
But you know what? You can't hold him down. You can't stop this man because his name is Timothy Treadwell, not Timothy Tread just okay.
Oh, fuck yes, dude.
And even though he had been warned countless times to stay away from the bears, he continued to camp, interact, and record the bears. And not only that, but he would get right up close and personal, even with the big giant-ass ones.
He used to get away on a technicality. They're like, you know, you can't bring food on your campsite. He's like, it's not food. It's a McDonald's salad and burger. That's technically not food at all. It's just sawdust.
And there is one part where they're talking about a letter that he wrote that stated, I have to mutually mutate into a wild animal to handle the life I live out there. And then also in the letters he stated, there are many times I feel that death is the best option. My work would be more seriously looked at.
Absolutely.
Well, it's true. I mean, that's very
absolutely,
fucking true.
yeah. I mean, we still would have, honestly, I feel like it still would have been a documentary and it still would have been just
Yeah.
as cool.
But this,
But
if this guy,
It's so much better that he died. like it's just
like I know what you like. It's not better that he died, but I mean,
isn't it? It's so much better that he died.
But you know what the thing is? If this would have happened like 10 years later, this guy would be a fucking millionaire if YouTube was out when he did this shit.
Yeah.
He would be a fucking star.
Yeah, but then he would have turned into a fucking douche, and then
Oh wait, turned into.
yeah,
Do you need me to rewind the footage?
worse of a douche.
Have you seen his haircut?
Well, I think you know what he turned into.
Bear shit.
If Timothy Treadwell had an autobiography book, it'd look like an Animorph cover. It'd show him slowly turning into a bear, then it'd end with the poop emoji.
Fuck yeah.
It shows him, if you buy that book on April 1st, though, it shows him turning into fucking Woody Harrelson in Cheers. And the book is fucking empty. It just says no when you open it up.
Oh man.
But yeah, because of those quotes and those letters, this is why many people considered him crazy. Like, he would deliver amazing and breathtaking photos and videos, but at the same time, in the videos, he's talking to the animals in like baby voices, and he's acting like a bear as well. Like, there are times when people would see him and he's just walking around on all fours, acting like a bear, hiding in bushes and just making weird noises and shit. So he's definitely just a fucking strange dude.
I remember seeing Andrew do that once, though. He was like walking around on all fours and like making weird sounds, but I think that was just when he had a short career as a gimp.
Yeah.
What do you mean short?
Hang on a second. 27 years isn't short, all right, buddy?
So this is going to be a lot of reading from me right here, and I do apologize. And this is taken from the article on Katmai bears, and it is written by a person that worked at the national park and actually knew Timothy Treadwell. So this is from that article, and this is just word for word, Katmai or katmaibears.com. Timothy became even more possessive of the bears and the area he loved. He spent countless hours immersed in his own thoughts and became wary of people who invaded his part of the national park to view the bears. He was sometimes hostile to intruders and would readily imitate the behavior of bears, fleeing from people and watching them from behind bushes, sometimes bursting forth with less than courteous remarks and threatening gestures. This is the same man who became gentle and childlike when talking to groups of school children. Such contradictions between Timothy's words and behavior made it hard for me to determine the actual reason for his presence in Katmai National Park. On the other hand, he said he wanted to educate people about the bears, and in fact, he was amassing a library of videotape and using it to educate school children and raise money for his bear activities. However, when major film companies like the BBC came to create documentaries that would educate millions, Timothy disrupted their filming by yelling and charging up and down streams to scare away the bears. Another of Timothy's stated goals was to protect the bears, but he located himself at Katmai National Park, the largest bear protection area in the world.
When he was fundraising for his work, he would tell them that he just needed the bare necessities.
Fuck yeah, dude.
The years of 1998 to 2001 saw Timothy Treadwell spending long periods of time at Kafia Bay and his filmmaking desires reaching unfathomable limits.
That's tough one to say.
The salmon runs were good, and bear activity couldn't be better. Inevitably, other filmmakers and producers were attracted to the area, and Katmai Coastal Bear Tours was often chartered to guide them. This was unnerving for Timothy, who claimed these were the bears he was here to protect. Kaflia Bay being close quarters, encounters between us became frequent and hostile. I defended my right to be there, and Katmai Coastal Bear Tours' respectful demeanor towards the bears. He did the same, all the while filming and promoting himself and his ambitions. This led me to speculate that the real purpose of this would-be actor was to star in his own documentary, which is exactly what came to pass in the Werner Herzog film GRIZZLY Man.
You know, some interesting insight I got about Timothy is I was sitting here thinking when you were reading that, why not go to like a more area where maybe bears are hunted and everything? Like, why go to like a protected spot? It seems like job's already done here, guy.
Yeah, I really don't understand why he went to like one of the most protected places he could go to. I mean, there are a ton of bears there, but yeah, it's just...
I think he did it because like, not that he didn't take the pussy way out or like that, but like he took the easiest route, like the Kevin Durant route.
Yeah.
Like he knew that going there, like he would still be protected by like park rangers. There's park rangers around and there's still people around. And he knew that maybe those bears were more not as feral, I guess, as like maybe like some other crazy kinds of bears.
Like the Kevin Durant route, so the hardest road.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, joining the 73 and 9 team.
But I wonder if he just joined that park because it's a little bit protected. The bears at least see humans, opposed to like way out in the wilderness where they've never seen a human. So he knows he's kind of got it like a little bit easier than feral.
But it's still I agree completely, but it's still fucking bears.
Oh yeah.
Dude, there's nowhere where bears haven't seen humans now. I mean, they get reruns of Friends just like us.
But really, just like this guy said, and we'll probably touch on later, I honestly just think his whole goal is just to be a celebrity or movie star.
Yeah.
That's really what I...
I
mean, don't get
The
me...
core of this was attention.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, he does do good. Like, he takes amazing footage, and he has a non-profit organization we'll talk about. So he does do a lot of good stuff.
I feel like he does a lot of bad, though, too.
But it all boils down to he is a failed actor that he never recovered from that, and this is his way to make it better in his eyes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he did some interesting and beautiful stuff, but I don't think he really helped anyone but himself, really.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, and
completely.
he hurt a lot.
And the tragedy of it all, not only does he die, his girlfriend dies, and then 2 bears that he was there to protect die.
Yeah.
Which
But they were asshole bears.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I agree. They're fucking bears, but...
Well, I don't know. I mean, if a bear just came in this house and hung out here like every year, like without asking... I mean,
Would we shoot it?
Eventually, I think we'd have to.
Dude, if a bear comes in here and just hangs out and doesn't kill me, I'm fucking becoming friends with that thing.
Yeah, but what if he's always talking to you in like a
yeah, but
high
Andrew
voice?
used to always come here, man.
Then we're probably sleeping with it.
So some of my favorite parts of the Grizzly Man documentary is just everything he does on camera. Like, he plans to his exact wanting. So he would do like 1,000,000 takes, just multiple takes of everything. And one time he is talking about how he has to stay incognito and hide his camp somewhere in the bushes within the grizzly sanctuary. And he states that they can't find him. Nobody knows where he is. Even he doesn't know where he is. And then at the end of it, he's like, that was shitty. Whatever. One more take. This is going to be the motherfucker. And then he would like give himself pep talks between takes and go on.
That's fucking crazy because like when you said incognito and like shitty in the same sentence, because I usually use incognito when I hide my scat porn. So that's pretty awesome.
And one thing he did is he would do like 15, 20 takes of the same thing, and he would change minor things like, oh, I'll do this one with the bandana on. Yeah. I'll do this one without a bandana. Because he would even say, he's like, he expected all this to be used in movies and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I don't know how they're going to want that, like when they make this, or how they're going to need this. So he'll do it like every way possible.
That there is going like a little bit to like the douchebag part of it.
Oh, well, hold that thought, Tim, because he did refer to this as the wild Timmy jungle scenes whenever he would do it all. So douchebag still?
Oh, yeah. I completely take back everything I just said.
Too bad he didn't meet the pianista, man.
Fuck yes.
Guide us on the trail.
You're the pianista, man.
That shit was so good.
And Timothy, he started getting, I mean, he was already awkward and weird, but then he started doing stuff where he would set up cameras and then he would just record shots of himself holding another camera, acting like he's recording. So, like, they'd have a camera set up and he would run out in the water and he would just, like, pose in the water holding cameras like he was recording himself. And there's just so many shots of him just running places. I don't know, that's very strange. It's definitely very strange.
They're
and odd.
incredible to watch, though.
And another thing he did is he made sure that it was very important that everyone knew he was 100% secluded and alone out there. Like, he would even go on rants about, like, man, the hardest thing is just no one realizes how alone I am out here. But he would get dropped off there by a pilot, would take him there. He was getting food and all this other stuff dropped off. So it's not like he's living on the wild. He's getting all the stuff he needs dropped off. In the last like 2 to 4 years, I can't remember, he had a girlfriend out there with him.
Yeah.
And her name's Amy, but she's only in 2 shots. You never see her face. You see her getting out of a plane once, then you see her sitting on like the side of a hill. And the sad part is you find out later, like in Timothy Treadwell's writings, that Amy, she loved Timothy and was out there like for him, but she was like terrified of the bears.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't like to be close to him and shit.
Not even Schumer. She would have ate the bear.
Yeah, not Schumer. She would have been like, whoa, what the fuck you doing in my territory? That's my food. Get out of that tent.
Shoot.
I'm just picturing Amy Schumer out in a river, like catching salmon in her mouth.
She just fucking whips her pussy out and all the salmon float to the surface dead.
Wait, how can you
Her
kill...
pussy smells more like fish than the fish.
Honestly, how can you kill salmon with their own smell?
I don't know, man. She found a way. Hey, I found a way. I found a way.
Amy
You open up your puss.
It's gonna take some time to realize.
Fucking Drake and Josh, man.
Amy Schumer would eat the bears and smile afterwards, so she would grin and bear it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And because I don't know where else to mention this, because we don't talk a whole lot about Amy, because I really just don't know a lot about her.
Yeah.
I know she was a physician's assistant, and she was scared of the bears. And when she sadly does end up getting killed by the bears, she goes out like a fucking badass, like a hashtag Wildman, 100% badass. So we'll talk about that a little bit later, but yeah, mad props to her.
Dude, I was just thinking about the bears' names, and I was getting a crack out of it. Well, if he named them like Strawberry and Blueberry. That's it.
Frankenberry.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But yeah, each week he has food delivered to him by plane, and according to his partner on a Reddit AMA, he mostly ate MREs from, who wants to guess the fucking place he would get most of his food from?
Trader Joe's.
Exactly, Trader Joe's. And he was a big fan of mac and cheese.
I mean, who
Who
is it?
isn't?
Yeah, I'll say who is it?
Yeah.
It's fucking mac and
You know who
mac
brought
and
mac
cheese.
and cheese to America for the first time?
Oh, I just learned this recently.
It was on Reddit.
Just say,
Blacks.
it was,
From Africa.
fuck, I saw it on Reddit too.
It was Gary Busey.
Fuck,
was Gary Busey.
it was.
You're so right, too.
Yeah.
This is gonna bother me.
He
'cause
pulled
I'm-
back his foreskin.
I can't think of which Thomas though.
The tank engine. No.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Jefferson.
Jefferson, okay.
Airplane.
That always reminds me of
It was Jefferson Airplane.
Jefferson Airplane, of Night at the Roxbury, where they're trying to bribe the bouncer to let him in. He's like, we got a Washington, and say hello to his brother Washington and Jefferson. That's the money he's bribing him with.
Wait, you know what bill Jefferson's on?
No.
The $2 bill.
Oh.
You almost never see.
Well, hey, well, I just told Dad that you did it, but I didn't do it.
That reminds me of Boy Meets World. Mr. Franklin isn't here right now, but here's 2 Mr. Lincolns and a mystery bag.
In a mystery bag. Yeah, that's good. And probably the most badass footage you'll ever see of 2 bears fighting is in the Grizzly Man documentary that Treadwell films. And it is fucking insane. It's just 2 big-ass bears fucking duking it out. And even Joe Rogan, he watched this fight because he's a big UFC guy, and he was like critiquing the fight and stuff. It's a pretty sweet video.
That exists?
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Fuck, I want to watch that.
But it's a fight between Sergeant Brown and Mickey, and they're fighting over Saturn, which Treadwell refers to as the Michelle Pfeiffer of bears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, let's just say if I know what she looks like, and if she was human, whoo! He says something like that. I'm sure he'll
Yeah.
put a clip right here of that.
Well, I just want to discuss that fight with Mickey Bear right here. He's right next to me here in the Grizzly Sanctuary on the Tide Flat Saturn off to camera left. Mick, you underestimated Sergeant Brown. You went in for the hit. He seemed to be rope-a-doping you like he wasn't that tough. And then once you banged into him, man, he turned out to be one heck of a rough bear. A very rough bear. And I'm telling you, I was so scared, I almost got sick to my stomach watching you fight. And then when he knocked you down and you had him, and you were down on your back, it was terrible. It was terrible. I'm not duking it out for any girl like that. I'm telling you right now, I'm not duking it out for any girl. But I've had my troubles with the girls. Yeah. And I'll tell you something. If Saturn was a female human, I could just see how beautiful she is as a bear. Whew. I've always called her the Michelle Pfeiffer of bears out here. All right, you lay there. I'm gonna go off with your girlfriend. Don't beat me up over it. I'm cool. I'm respectful. Things are bad for me with the human women, but not so bad that I have to be hitting on bears yet. Okay? Okay, thanks.
At least they weren't fighting over a Saturn.
That's true. And he gives a pep talk to the loser of that fight, and he goes on and he starts talking about girls. And we'll probably put
Imagine
that
the
fucking
balls
clip in.
to walk up to a male bear, which they call a boar. They use the same terms as pigs, like
I didn't know
pigs.
that.
Pigs, it's a boar and a sow. Same with bears. They call it boars and sows.
Did not know it. Cool.
He goes up to this defeated boar bear that's fucking sitting on the beach, just been beaten in a fight with another bear, and he just goes up and talks to this thing.
And he's like, you thought you had him, but he was kind of rope-a-doping you. Like, he's like saying that. It's pretty funny, though.
That bear looks so put out, and just depressed, but it also looks like get the fuck away
Yeah.
from me, you tiny little gnat.
And like Treadwell's exact words were something like, because he goes to the area they just battled, and he's like, it looks like tractors just tore this land up, and it really did. It was fucking destroyed, and it's an intense video, dude. It's so badass.
You honestly would have thought that would have been his, like, oh, I could get murdered incredibly easy by these things.
Yeah.
We should go home, me and the girl who doesn't want to be here.
He had this like false, like he got arrogant, and he had like this like falsehood of, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but he was just extremely lucky. I think that's honestly all it was.
He had a good run.
He did.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. But
You know what would have saved the whole thing? If he had been wearing chainmail.
well, yeah, that saves everything.
Dude, I saw this thing about this like documentary. They're talking about the chainmail they wear when they go diving to protect from like sharks and stuff. And it was like an 80-year-old lady who was testing it. I swear to God, it was a super old lady. I was like, holy shit, they would just break your fucking, like,
Dude.
if she jumps in and the wave is too big, that might break her bones.
Do they have her death video? That's one I
When
might
she
watch.
was signing up, they're like, excuse me, ma'am, this is chain mail, not chain letters.
Oh my god.
That's good.
That was a good one, dude.
Holy shit, Spence.
What if she doesn't sink because her bones are so fucking hollow? She just floats to the surface every time.
She floats out of the water and up into heaven because she fucking died getting in the water.
She was in the process of evolving into a bird.
Oh shit.
Now, toward the end of one of the seasons, he starts getting even more paranoid and a little bit crazy. He paints his face up in camo, and he just runs around hiding in bushes because of like the so-called hunters. Even though the closest thing he comes to is just a boat of guys, I think they're just photographing, which Treadwell, he's like, oh my God, they're armed with pepper spray and rocks. But the thing is like...
Dude, that's going to fuck those
I
bears
think
up.
everyone's technically armed with rocks because they're just free. They're lying around everywhere. Everyone can grab a rock.
Yeah.
So-
Whenever they want.
Dude, even Andrew.
I mean, I guess like Stephen Hawking can't just grab a rock, but
Oh my God.
most people could be armed with a rock
Like,
in seconds.
Dude, Andrew's not allowed to have like any weapon because like that would cause World War III like fucking right then. But he can have rocks.
But these guys that he's calling hunters, it just looks like they're taking photographs, and a bear does come up really close to him. So one of them, he does pick up a rock and he does throw it, and he hits the bear in the head with it.
Ooh.
Which, I mean, that sucks. It is sad, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, if you got a bear coming towards you,
It's a goddamn
that's all
bear.
you fucking got.
And
Yeah.
also, the bear was probably okay.
And this isn't funny either, but it's just the way Treadwell says it, because like he's like spying on it from the bushes. He's like, oh my God, no, it's Quincy. It's Quincy. And they throw a rock. He's like, he just hit Quincy. And it's not funny, but it's the way he's saying it, and the fact that his name is fucking Quincy.
I fucking this is so bad. You might delete this, but I fucking wish it was Quincy that killed him later.
Actually, I believe the bear that killed him, his name was Ollie. It was Bear
Oh, I thought-
141, I think.
Oh, I thought that was like a different. Oh, I guess we'll get further into it. I thought it. Yeah,
it
I
was
thought
Bear
different.
141, which means it was earlier on than Stitch, which was 626
Oh my god.
in the
Oh, fuck, is it
experiment.
Lilo and Stitch? Holy shit! I don't think I've ever seen the movie, but that's awesome.
And speaking of Timothy getting a little paranoid and a little bit crazy, there's a log that says, "Hi Timothy, see you summer 2001." And there's another rock that has a smiley face on it, and he fucking flips out. He's like, man, this is Freddy Krueger creepy, and this is a warning. These guys knew what they were doing. He's like, I know it doesn't straight up say, Timothy, we're gonna fucking kill you and cut your legs off, but and then he keeps going on. Like he was so offended and like bothered by that. It just,
High paranoia.
yeah, we'll probably play that clip right here.
It's hard to say, but it's a warning of a sort, and it's obviously here to upset me. Whew. Hi, Timothy. See you in summer of 2001. Now, it doesn't say, hi, Timothy, we're going to fucking kill you. It doesn't say, hi, Timothy, you're fucking dead, we're going to chop your legs off. Hey, Timothy, get the fuck out. It just says, see you in summer 2001. But it is some sort of a warning. It is some sort of a ha-ha. I don't think it's friendly.
When you say log, too, you don't mean like a log book. You mean like an actual log.
It was an actual log.
Dude,
someone like
that was one of my favorite scenes of that whole fucking thing. I loved it so much.
And speaking of favorite scenes, we're also going to play the "Fuck You Park Service" audio clip right here.
Holy shit!
Where
I fucking beat you.
Beat you. He's like the hunters come in here, they shoot him. The poachers come here, they fucking fuck them. Like he says that.
The funny thing is, none of that's happening.
No, none of that. And he has a huge fucking meltdown here. Yeah. And I want you to pay attention when you hear it. Towards the end, when he keeps saying "fuck" real quick, it sounds like as he's saying "fuck," he's pushing the little bubble with the dye in it from "Sorry."
Oh my god!
It fucking sounds like it.
Expedition 2001 coming to an end for grizzly people. For me, Timothy Treadwell. I came here and protected the animals as best I could. In fact, I'm the only protection for these animals out here. The government flying over a grand total of 2 times in 2 months. How dare they? How dare they challenge me? How dare they smear me in their campaigns? How dare they? When they do not look after these animals. And I come here in peace and in love, neutral, in respect. I will continue to do this. I will fight them. I will be an American dissident if I need be. There's a patriotic time going on right now, but as far as this fucking government's concerned, fuck you, motherfucking Park Service. I beat your fucking asses. I protected the animals. I did it. Fuck you. Animals rule. Timothy conquered. Fuck you, Park Service. Timothy, I'm getting a bad feeling about you. Oh, I saw you on David Letterman. You're fairly entertaining. All right, that's my heavy stuff. Let's do a couple of nice takes now. Oh man, did I get angry? Fuck them, right? They do not watch these animals. They don't care about these animals. All they want to do is screw people like me around. It's amazing. Let the fishermen fucking shoot the animals. Let the fucking poachers come in here and fuck them. Let the fucking commercial people fuck them around with their fucking cameras and shit, and the tourists. But we're going to go screw with Timothy Treadwell because he loves animals and teaches kids for free. Let's go. Let's do that. That's what we're going to do. Well, fuck them. Fuck them. I beat you. I beat you, motherfuckers. I beat you. Beat you. Fuck you. I beat you. I beat you. I'm the champion. I'm the fucking champion. I beat you. I beat your fucking asses. Fucking losers. Fucking nobodies. Fuck. Fucking fucks. Well, Expedition 2001 coming to an end. The bears safely moving into their winter dens. The foxes hiding in the woods. I came here, I studied them, protected them, and I promise you, I promise, the grizzly people, I will be back. I will be back. And I thank the animals for keeping me safe and for inspiring me. I thank them so very much. Goodbye.
Yeah, I can see that.
He was so paranoid that he actually wrote like a little mini poem about his paranoia.
Did he?
Yeah.
I'm just an average man with an average life.
Oh, come on.
What is that? I don't know. I don't know. Keep going.
Rockwell.
I'm chilling in the woods with my rations. Yeah, I pay the price. All I want is to be left alone in my average bear home. But why do I always feel like somebody's watching me? And I'm with Quincy.
Fuck yeah, dude.
My favorite part of that real song is when he's like, when I'm in the shower, I'm afraid to wash my hair.
Oh, yeah.
I might open my eyes and find Quincy standing there. So now we're going to start talking about the death of Timothy and his girlfriend, Amy. So Timothy, he ends up staying past the normal time of the season. Like I read on some sources that they said like a plane ticket mess up originally like made him came back, and because it was so late in the season, almost all the bears that were familiar with him, they're already gone in hibernating mode. And the only bears around were from the areas that have come looking for food before they hibernate. And this is like the most dangerous times to be around these bears because they're fucking hungry and getting ready to fucking stock up. So it's October of 2003, and Timothy and Amy, they're normally packed up and gone by this time, but yeah, they decided to extend their stay. And one of the other sources said the reason why was because they wanted to locate Treadwell's favorite female bear, Chocolate. So that means there's a Mr. Chocolate and then a Chocolate.
They wanted to have a three-way with Mrs. Chocolate.
Oh yeah, dude, he wanted to be the ice cream in that ice cream sandwich.
Fuck yeah.
You teared up because the barista screwed up your order. You finished a pint of fudge ripple ice cream in front of the freezer. You yelled at your desk neighbor, Leslie, for breathing too loud. This time, don't go and buy another box of tampons. Question what you thought you knew about periods. Question what you buy, what you use, what the usual way, right way is to deal with it. Revolutionize. Switch it up. Try the Diva Cup and see how it can make dealing with your period a whole lot better.
So Treadwell, he knew that October was dangerous, and that's where bears, they start storing up food because they got winter coming and they got to get ready for hibernating. So they become more aggressive.
And because they get out all those fucking pumpkin beers.
That is
Fuck
true.
yeah, dude. Gotta get the taste out of their mouths.
But
I like a couple of them.
But sadly, he still camps out in their paths like normal. And this is just so fucking dangerous because park visitors, they're prohibited from bringing like any guns into the park. But Treadwell, he doesn't even carry like bear repellent spray. He doesn't bring anything to defend himself.
The thing that's crazy is like he ran out of clothes then too. Like they got all torn up and shitty. It's like the only thing he had left was like costumes and shit. So he's like dressing up as a hamburger and like banana and stuff and cute pretzel.
Cute pretzel. And on the afternoon of October 5th, they call in and they speak to one of their colleagues in Malibu because they had a satellite phone. And this was, I think, the last time that anyone heard from them because 24 hours later, they would be discovered dead. And 2 days before Timothy and his girlfriend Amy's death, they were filming a new bear swimming around and looking for food. Some sources say it was a new bear. Some say that he knew who it was. And this bear might have been the one that actually would kill and eat them later. And the pilot, the one that would pick up and drop off Treadwell and Amy, which, by the way, this pilot looks just like my fucking dad. And he ends up being the one that would find the remains of Tim and Amy. And he said, like, when he came over to pick them up, he was flying down to pick up the two of them, but he didn't see them anywhere. Like, they weren't in the normal pickup zone. And he said that when he found Treadwell's body, it was just his mangled head and, like, a little bit of his backbone. And he also found, like, his arm, and it had a watch on it. And then Amy's remains, they were found partially buried under a mound of twigs and dirt next to the torn tents. But yeah, this pilot, he's fucking badass. Like he said,
like him.
when he came down, he originally saw this bear fucking chewing on a rib cage. So to try and get him to like leave, this motherfucker like 15 to 20 times dove down in his plane and fucking flew it at the bear.
Yeah.
To try and scare it away.
That's fucking awesome.
That's
Yeah.
fucking so amazing,
That's fucking
dude.
awesome.
So hashtag Wildman on that.
Wait,
Taking
was
him
this a
out.
plane or helicopter?
It's a small plane.
Oh, damn, I thought it was a helicopter. So he does a Grand Theft Auto thing and leans it forward and tries to chop it up with the blades.
But like he was like trying to scare it away, and he said whenever he was out of the plane, like trying to go to the remains to find him, that he saw this bear like sneaking around,
Yeah.
and so that's when he went back to his plane. But this guy almost got killed by the bear too, then, because this bear was fucking sneaking around, actually, getting ready to attack.
Yeah, he wanted to eat again.
And this next part is from Yellowstone-Bearman.com.
Bearman.
But it said that Tim and Amy, they decided that they were going to stay one extra week in an effort to locate Chocolate, which is one of his favorite female bears. He wrote in his diary that Amy said that he was, quote, hell-bent on destruction. And she was saying that, like, no matter what, this will be her last season of her staying in Alaska with him. And, like, she was planning on leaving him. And she was, like, looking forward to returning to California and starting a new job. And that just is so fucking sad.
But Timothy was like, what is this, some kind of suicide squad?
So that's it, huh? No, actually, I made a mistake. The phone call on October 5th, that was when they called Jewel, which is a program director of the Grizzly people, and she was also a previous girlfriend of Tim's. And we'll talk about her a little bit, but she's in the documentary. And she said they both seemed like excited and happy when she talked to him.
I feel like Jewel thinks everyone's excited and happy, though.
That is true.
Well, I don't think no, Jewel didn't actually answer the phone. She wasn't awake. Like, Jewel was still asleep. His dreams last for so long, even after you're gone.
Dude, I paid Tim $20 to say that. Remember in The Office when Roy, he's like, oh, they're playing that song.
They're playing the,
He's like, yeah, I paid him
dude.
$20 to
Hell
play
yeah.
it. But I'm not positive, but I think it was the day that Tim and Amy got killed. I think earlier that morning is when he phoned the pilot, which his name is Willie Fulton. I think he called him to be like, hey, yeah, we're ready. Come pick us up tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I think that was the last time they heard from
His
him.
name was Willie, too.
Willie Fulton.
Also in like a horrible, like tragic, kind of ironic fate, That was also the same day the McRib came out.
Oh.
One legend dies, another is born.
That was also the same day that Marilyn Manson had a rib taken out. Now, in regards to the bear that would end up killing them, the pilot, Willie Fulton, he said that Tim and Amy, whenever he was transporting them out each year, quote, "This was a bear that they had seen before, and it was just a dirty, rotten bear that Tim didn't like anyway. He wanted to be friends with, but that never happened." Which sucks for not only the bear, but for Treadwell's cause as well, because after they are killed, the park rangers, they are forced to kill this bear because it attempted to attack them whenever they were recovering the remains. And then shortly after, another younger bear was also killed whenever it, I think it charged or ran at one of the recovery teams. And they would end up having a dissection of the bears, and they both had human body parts inside them. And like Spence mentioned earlier, there was 5 garbage bags full of human remains that they pulled out.
Sam Agri, he tells us.
And Timothy and Amy, them getting eaten by these bears, that's the first time in the park's 85-year history. Like, this was the first known bear-inflicted death.
The black bear that killed Timothy, he named it Hawk. And so after they got done shooting the bear down, they said Black Hawk down.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But Timmy was like, "You're tearing me apart every day."
Was he saying that to Lisa?
So,
But then after the bear died, he's like, "Now it's your turn, bear, to cry."
the bear that did get shot and killed, it was a black bear, and they didn't even see it coming. And one of the rescuers like shot him and killed him. Like, "Holy shit, that was a great shot. What's your name, sir?" He's like, "It's Zimmerman."
I knew it was going to be, dude.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't really a black bear. It was a brown bear.
Oh man.
I knew it was going to.
He's like, "I thought he was holding a Snicker bar." What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit.
Hey, Zimmerman, watch how you say that candy bar's name.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Dude. He's like, "You said Snickers, right?" So the human remains inside the bears, that wasn't all that the park rangers had found. So after the remains of the bodies were first taken away, the rangers next searched the campsite. And inside one of their torn and ripped up tents, they came across a video camera. And inside the camera, there was a 6-minute long tape inside. And at first, they thought that this tape was blank because there wasn't any video showing on it, but they were very wrong. The camera had been rolling, and it must have started right as the attack happened because the tape films the audio of the attack and reveals that Timothy was first to be attacked by the bear, and at the same time, Amy is attempting to fight the bear off, and at the very end of the audio tape, it ends as Amy is given like a really high-pitched screaming yell, and they think that that's whenever she was also eaten and killed. So holy shit, that is completely fucked up. And the camera that was recording, it had the lens on still, so there's no video footage, just audio.
Lens cap.
Yeah, the lens cap on it.
The lenses were later used to make a pair of glasses for Andrew Carnell.
Oh my god, I thought you were being serious at first. I was like, how? But there's tons of fake audio
Wouldn't
clips.
the depth ratio, like the depth perception, be off?
There's tons of fake audio clips of this death on there.
Yes,
And-
there's so many hoaxes of it. Don't believe it.
And there's a
Some of them do sound fucking incredibly realistic, dude. I've listened to them.
Oh, yeah?
There's a few people that have heard this, such as the amazing fucking autopsy guy who we're gonna play his clip from.
Oh,
This guy's fucking amazing.
This Alaska coroner. Oh,
Yeah, the coroner.
Man.
And the only part in this documentary where they have these random like camera cuts and moving shots, because this guy is so fucking nuts telling the story of the audio tape, because he's been one of the only people that heard it. And one thing that the people say that hear it, the bear is almost completely silent. Like, he's not growling or whatever you want to call it, or like making noises. You hear him breathe sometimes.
Well, yeah.
Besides that, like they don't fucking do what they do in the movies.
Yeah,
right.
no, he's
in the
honestly
movies,
just
they put in roars and stuff,
Yeah.
but think about it logically. I mean,
He's just eating.
the bear only roars when it needs to communicate something to another animal, and it does that to like try to scare another animal off. If it's decided to eat you, they're just quiet.
Yeah,
because
because
that's
they're
what
eating.
you would do.
That's all you do when you're eating. Yeah, absolutely.
So there's been a few people that have heard this, and after the Rangers collected it, they refused to share it with anyone. They are keeping it from the public, even though tons of filmmakers are trying to get their hands on it always. And his ex-girlfriend, Jewel, the one who started the Grizzly People Foundation with them, she is the owner of the tape now.
That the one that got his watch?
She is kind of different.
Yeah, I hate her so much.
But his ex-girlfriend, she is given this old watch, and they're like, yeah, this is the watch that he was wearing when he was eaten and killed by that bear.
I'm sorry that this is still in an evidence bag.
Yeah, he says that as he cuts it open, but it's like we found his head and his arm. On his arm was this watch, and they cut the bag and handed her the watch, and she puts it on. And it's just like, to me, that's so fucking nuts and weird.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be like if they were like, Kevin, got some bad news. Kevin's dad, your father, he was killed and eaten by a bear. He didn't make it, but the good news is we were able to retrieve that red Marlboro jacket that he bought with all those Marlboro points, which we might add in. It was an impressive number of Marlboro points, so we managed to salvage that jacket. He was eaten and murdered in it, but here, you can have it. And then I just put it on and like go hang out at the mall.
It's like that. But you know, they're also like, we also have some other bad news. We found his watch on his detached arm. And it's a Casio.
Oh, no.
But also, by the way, that scene when she's given the watch, I feel like they could have cut like
a lot of it out
so quickly, and then they just wait and just let her put on the watch, and it just like the scene keeps going. It's like cut,
a lot of
fucking cut.
Almost all of his friends and family's reaction. I don't want to sound evil or mean or bad. I don't fucking buy any of them.
Well, I don't buy hers
a lot of
either.
them seem like they're just. I mean, I'm sure some of them are genuine. I don't mean that, but it's just they sound like they're trying to add to it. Oh, also, they just told me, yeah. So your daddy had that Marlboro jacket on. I see you put that on. He also was wearing this cup, and also this beer dispenser hat. All right, I guess I'll put all those on too.
What about like how Trump wants to build that wall, but he wants it done like right now? So like tipping over dominoes, they just push over your dad's Marlboro Miles stacks, and it just fucking forms a perfect 1,200 mile wall.
The fucking Earth splits in half.
It fills up the Grand Canyon. Dude, Marlboro
fills
Miles
up one of the pant legs of Amy Schumer's jeans.
Holy fuck.
Dude, Marlboro Miles were the shit though. We have like fucking 2 hammocks. I think we still fucking have. They're fucking awesome.
We had I'm pretty sure I had a Marlboro jacket when I was a kid.
Dude.
We had like a fucking chair, one of those cooler things.
You know that red like longer backpack I have, book bag thing? That's a Marlboro Miles one. Yeah.
Half of what we fucking owned was Marlboro shit, dude.
All we're
That's
saying,
what we get.
all we're saying is let's go fucking start smoking Marlboros right now.
Let's
guys.
do it.
What about we brushed our
Don't
teeth
even
with like a
have those
fucking like
anymore.
a toothbrush that was just a giant cigarette?
So as far as what we were talking about with Amy being a badass, we're gonna play the clip of the coroner because he gives a description of what's happening in the tape. But Amy
Defending her mate.
She fucking went out like as Timothy Treadwell because he's attacked while he's outside the tent. She's inside and he's like yelling for her to like come out and help. And she runs out with a frying pan and starts fucking hitting this bear in the face and head with a frying pan. Yeah. And she could have ran and got away, maybe. We don't know. But she went out there and fought to the death with a fucking frying pan, dude.
Yeah. And she didn't even want to be there anyway.
Yeah, that sucks. That's so sad.
Hashtag Wildman.
Yeah. She went out like a fucking badass, man.
It's honestly
I
not
couldn't
fair.
have done that. I wouldn't have done that.
No, that honestly makes me like dislike him a little bit. And not even just a little bit. Like a lot. Because she didn't even want to be there.
Timothy Treadwell and Amy Huguenot's remains came in this large metal can. Inside this metal can was a plastic bag, one for Timothy and one for Amy. I mean, these are human beings, and the question I ask is, first of all, who are you, Timothy? Who are you, Amy? And what happened to you? In the case of Timothy and Amy, what I had were body parts, just the visual input of seeing a detached human being before my eyes makes my heart race, makes the hair stand up on the back of my head,
particularly in combination with the contents of a tape, an audio tape, that is the sound portion of a videotape. And when I find out from other investigators that the shoes neatly placed at the entrance to a tent and the cap left on a camera so that the visual part could not be recorded, yet the tape is running so that we can hear the sounds of Amy screaming and the sounds of Timothy moaning, tells me that this event occurred very, very quickly, suddenly and unexpectedly. I clearly can hear her screaming, "Stop and go away. Maybe run away." There's a lot of background noise. Timothy is moaning, and I hear Amy beating on the top of this bear's head with a frying pan, and Timothy is saying, "Run away, let go. Run away, Amy, run away." Amy had a great deal of conviction. She had a great deal of conviction in this relationship, we know that. Although in the past she was more standoffish. She didn't get as close to the bear as Timothy did. She was more cautious. However, I know that at the moment of death, when one is being tried to the maximum of one's ability to be faithful, to stick to a situation, to be loyal, if one can say that, to Timothy, she stayed there and she fought with Timothy. She did not run away. Amy, we know, fought back for approximately 6 minutes. Amy stayed with her lover, with her partner, with her mate, and with the bear. Ultimately, she stayed with the bear in the situation.
Dude, what if Timothy Treadwell is Goldilocks and he just slept in the wrong bed and the bears attacked him?
What if?
Well,
What if?
and he's had bears come into his
Myth
camp
busted.
like plenty of times, but he would always go out there and he would talk to him in his high-pitched bear voice that he does and try to get him to leave.
It's all right. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Exactly. That's exactly what he would do.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was so late in the season, and it was just.
I mean, he's told that this is going to happen.
Yeah,
And more than once, and he was told that this was going to happen like during the season that he could have been there, like where it probably shouldn't have happened.
I feel like this is why none of his friends that are interviewed are all that heartbroken.
Well, 'cause it was going to happen.
Nobody was shocked.
But
Like,
he stayed to where it was definitely going to happen.
his actor friend is like,
yeah,
not exactly a surprise.
Warren Queenie. The only thing he says, he's like, you know what's really amazing? Timothy, he would go surfing. No matter how wet his head got, you would never see his forehead. It's quite remarkable, or something like that.
You could tell he was jealous.
His friend that we're talking about, Warren Queenie, I'll probably play a clip of him too. When he's talking, they actually put up friend/actor because he is acting the entire time horribly. He's talking about how he's like, man, it was just the most amazing thing I've ever seen. The fact that Timothy didn't get his hair in his forehead, I don't know. But the thing is this guy, you can tell he practiced saying all this shit a million times because I don't buy anything he says. It's so fucking garbage. And at the end, he says, this is his fucking quote in regards to Timothy lying about his origin because they're like, yeah, he wasn't really this orphan from Australia. And this is what he says.
At some point in Timmy's life, he had a near-fatal overdose. How he survived it, I don't know. He's a tough guy. But I guess it was an epiphany for him. After that, he was looking for a different persona. I guess that's when he came up with where he was from and his delightful accent. I never questioned it. It almost sounded more Kennedy-esque than Australian. After Timmy's death, people said, well, don't you feel betrayed that he did that he didn't tell you the truth about his accent or his origins? And that never bothered me. Timmy always amused me. And there's an old saying on the farm, if it doesn't scare the cows, who cares? Well, I don't think Timmy ever scared the cows. So who cares?
That's that's what he
Dude,
says.
The funny thing, though,
I hate this fucker.
It's weird. It's weird, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, this is like some truth. every time I go past the farm, like I don't even have to be on it. I go past it, and I say that out loud.
Yeah.
I do that
The
too.
farm, because there's obviously only one.
Sometimes I'll just be looking at shit in my attic, and I'll find, oh, here's my old baseball card collection, and I'll be like, holy shit, this doesn't scare the cows either.
Yeah, because
So
I mean,
who cares?
Yeah.
And I throw them back in the box because I don't care anymore.
Usually I run out and I'm like, Mom, and she's like, what? I'm like, does this scare you? No, okay.
Yeah.
That was rude.
So now we're gonna.
Sometimes I play music a little too loud, and I want to make sure Timmy's like not trying to sleep or something. I'll just holler out my room, "Hey Timmy, is it scaring the cows?"
And usually I just run out with my fucking dick, and I'm like, no.
He's like, Timmy, is this scaring the cows? And you hear fucking Amy Schumer crying in the living room.
It's weird because Timmy comes running out like that, and he's wearing a fucking cowbell around his neck.
So now we're gonna start talking about some of the funny shit and some of our favorite parts from the documentary. Like one of my favorite parts is where they show him on David Letterman, and within 15 seconds of him walking out, instantly David Letterman is like, so, you know, are we gonna someday hear about you being eaten by these bears? And the entire crowd fucking is cheering and laughing.
Yeah.
And everyone in the comments on YouTube is like, oh my god, he's a prophet. He fucking knew. It's like, everyone fucking knew. How did you think this story was gonna end? He was gonna fucking ride away in a fucking Lamborghini with the bears hanging out with him.
I didn't know this story. Like, I didn't know this fucking story at all until you guys told me about it, but I knew at the end. I'm like, this motherfucker's getting eaten.
Wait, are you telling me that the Country Bears movie is not true?
Some other funny parts. Remember, there's a part where he comes up to a pile of bear shit.
Oh yes.
And he's like, "This poop.
It's her poop.
It's her poop. It came from Wendy. It was inside Wendy.
This is her poop.
I can feel it. It's perfect."
He's fucking touching it.
Yeah.
It's still warm. It's her poop.
And
dude, he just fucking Swanton dives right into it, but like,
yeah, he does the
backward,
Mrs. Doubtfire scene with it.
he does he does like a backwards like shooting star press into it, and it just fucking starts. He eats the whole thing. None of this happened, but goddamn, it'd be funny if it did.
There's your poop. It just came out of her butt. I can feel it. I can feel the poop. It's warm. It just came from her butt. This was just inside of her. My girl. I'm touching it. It's her poop. It's Wendy's poop. I know it may seem weird that I touched her poop, but it was inside of her. It's her life. It's her. And she's so precious to me. She gave me Downy. I adore Downy. Everything about them is perfect.
So we're going to play the audio from this next scene as well, which I can't watch this scene without thinking of Spence. Oh. The rain rant.
Yeah.
So Spence, you want to talk about the rain rant a little bit?
Well, of course, the whole time that Timothy was out here in Katmai National Park, he was filming for a documentary that either he wanted to make or he wanted other people to make of him. And so he's filming all of his reactions. And one summer or fall, the rain kind of dried up and there weren't salmon coming in the river, and the bears eat salmon, so the bears weren't eating. It was very sad. And he just rants and rants about, he starts ranting at God, all versions of God, like the Christian, the Hindu, the Buddhist, the weird floating Islam.
Orb.
Yeah, he calls Hinduism. He's like the floaty Hindu thing, and he just like cursing all the different gods and demanding that they send water. And at one part, because he had names for all the bears, so he's like, Melissa is eating her babies.
Tabitha is hungry. But ultimately, Spence, do you know what that scene proves?
There is a God, because
God
later one of those gods sent rain, and he redeclares his loyalty to all of them.
So here's the deal. Pull this down a little bit. It's September 20th. It's the year 2000. It's Expedition 2000. There has not been a substantial rainfall for almost 2 months. The fish have not run since about August 2nd, August 3rd. We are now getting our first rain, but it is just slowed down. We need at least 2 inches, I think even 3 inches of rain. In the last 2 hours, we're up a little over 0.20 inches of rain. That is not enough. We're going to need more rain. We need more rain! Downey is hungry! Tabitha is hungry! Melissa is eating her babies! I'm like a fucking nut. We've got to have some rain. Now, I'm not a religious guy, no. But I'm telling you, I'm just pissed because it just doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem right. I know it's just weather and crap like that, and it's, I don't know what the variables are, but we've got to have some goddamn rain. So if there's a God, Downey needs to eat. Dump on us. Hurt us. Come on. Think rain. Think rain. It's a crappy little shower right now. What kind of crappy come on! Have this again. Doesn't that make me very, very happy? I want rain. I want, if there's a God, to kick some ass down here. Let's have some water, Jesus boy. Let's have some water, Christ man, or Allah, or Hindu floaty thing. Let's have some fucking water for these animals!
Can you do that, Christ man? Can you do that, Jesus boy?
Oh my God. What's funny is if he would have just went upstream more, he would have saw that there was just a taste testing party for some Bud Light, and that was actually just piss in the river.
What's the video where that dude wrestles that bear? Is it for the Bud Light? Is that what that is?
Probably. That sounds like Bud Light or Budweiser, you think. Yeah.
And another clip I want to play next is he gives this weird speech about how life would be so much easier if he was gay.
Yeah.
Anything weird?
Well.
And that's my story here. For me, Timothy Treadwell, the kind warrior. Can I take it? I'm trying. Okay, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, why not? Why not? I crossed the halfway point. The government's given me all they have so far. I've stood up to it. I've had danger in the boat, almost died, I've almost fallen off a cliff. Yeah. The danger factor's about to amp up in the maze. The maze is always the most dangerous. Lord, I do not want to be hurt by a bear. I do not. I always cannot understand why girls don't want to be with me for a long time because I have really a nice personality. I'm fun. I'm very, very good in the, you're not supposed to say that when you're a guy. But I know I am. They know I am. And I don't fight with them. I'm so passive. Bit of a patsy. Which, is that a turn-off to girls, to be a patsy? I mean, it's not that I'm a total great guy. I'm a lot of fun and have a good life going. I don't know what's going on. I always wished I was gay. It would have been a lot easier. You know, you can just bing, bing, bing. Gay guys have no problem. I mean, they go to restrooms and truck stops and they perform sex. It's like so easy for them and stuff. But you know what? Alas, Timothy Treadwell is not gay. Bummer. I love girls. And girls need a lot more. Need a lot more, you know, finesse and care and I like that a bit. But when it goes bed down in bed and you're alone, it's like, well, you know, you can't rebound like you can if you were gay. I'm sure gay people have problems too, but not as much as one goofy straight guy named Timothy Treadwell. Anyway, that's my story. That's my story.
So I feel like my life would be easier if I was gay.
And then he gives this big rant at the end. He's like, well, I'm sure gay people have problems too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do, dude. Yeah. And your problems because you create them because you're camping out with fucking bears.
What problems?
Well, I guess both are.
Gay people have, all right.
Well, I guess both do camp out with bears sometimes.
Yeah, both of them sleep with the bears.
Yeah, I've been sleeping with two for a fucking while.
I did come up with a drinking game for this documentary.
Oh, hell yes.
Good.
That even the designated drivers can do.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Even if you don't want to get drunk, like if you have to drive home later, you can still play this drinking game. There's 2 versions. Like the first one is like if you're one of the people who's like, I got to drive later, I don't want to get too hammered, but I still want to play. Just go ahead and take a drink every time the coroner blinks, and you're gonna be as sober as the fucking day you were born.
And by the way, I need to tell our listeners, he said 2 virgins, not 2 virgins. 'Cause
Exactly.
Andrew isn't here twice.
And if you want to get really, really drunk, just change the rules a little bit and take a drink every time you watch the coroner and get hard. So
I wonder if you're like a radical Islamist, if you like kill yourself in a really sucky way, maybe you only get 2 virgins.
It's like, yeah, you get 2 virgins. The good news is you get to pick which members of the Brothers Commonplace you want for that.
It's like The Force Awakens. It's like The Force Awakens. Like you walk up to this guy after you've killed yourself and you just show him what you did, and he's like, 1/4 virgin.
One of the ISIS guys gets killed by Andrew when he was a soldier.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, actually the virgin you're getting is Andrew when you fucking get back here. So
Of course. By the way, you know it's Simon Pegg who's that guy in Force Awakens, right?
No, I didn't know
The
that.
alien guy who gives him out the food portions.
No, I didn't know
That's
that.
Simon Pegg.
I didn't know
Dude,
that.
that's cool.
Yeah.
So the next audio clip is probably the funniest part of the entire movie to me. He is the helicopter pilot that was called in to assist after the tragedy of the 4 deaths, being the 2 bears and the 2 people. And we're going to play his clip right now.
Treadwell was, I think, meaning well, trying to do things to help the resource of the bears. But to me, he was acting like he was working with people wearing bear costumes out there instead of wild animals. Those bears are big and ferocious, and they come equipped to kill you and eat you. And that's just what Treadwell was asking for. He got what he was asking for. He got what he deserved, in my opinion. The tragedy of it was taking the girl with him. I think the only reason that Treadwell lasted as long in the game as he did was that the bears probably thought there was something wrong with him, like he was mentally retarded or something. That bear, I think that day, decided that he had either had enough of Tim Treadwell, or that something clicked in that bear's head that he thought, hey, you know, he might be good to eat. My opinion, I think Treadwell thought these bears were big, scary-looking, harmless creatures that he could go up and pet and sing to, and they would bond as children of the universe or some odd. I think he had lost sight of what was really going on.
So yeah, that guy pretty much is a badass. He says, you know, I think the bears just thought he was fucking retarded. That guy. I mean, that's not exactly what he says.
It's fucking Sam Agri.
But
he tells it like it is.
Yeah, that's him, the helicopter pilot.
Yeah.
I think the reason the bears didn't mess him, they just thought he was like fucking retarded. He doesn't say fucking, but it's so
It's
good.
basically what he said, and it's fucking amazing.
I think the reason the brothers kicked Andrew off the podcast is they thought he was fucking retarded.
I think the reason is, hey guys, quiet down. We gotta get our story straight.
Holy shit! That's fucking scream killing.
Yeah,
one.
the scream killers.
The fucking little pussies.
So Spence, I don't know if you saw this or not. I didn't even know about it.
Probably not.
In 2008,
Moulin Rouge? No, I didn't.
No. Hey, sister,
None of us did.
sister. There was an 8-episode miniseries called The Grizzly Man Diaries. And it was like the next spin-off of Grizzly Man, but I never saw it.
That's like, hey, we got all this other footage that didn't make it into the professional movie.
It's mostly just him whacking it in a stream, but we're going to show it for 8 days. Man, I agree with what I said earlier. I think he was fucking retarded.
We got to talk about the foxes at all.
Yeah, you can talk about whatever you want right here, man.
Oh, dude.
Ghost.
So there's this part where he befriends these foxes, and there's a whole shot of him like this fox steals his hat and he chases it across the field.
It's amazing. It's
trying to get his
amazing.
hat back from this little fox, and it runs down its den. He's like, no, not in the den.
He's like, I need that hat. It's vital to this expedition, or whatever the fuck he says.
He names the fox, right?
One is Ghost.
Yeah, was it Ghost that grabbed this?
I think the other one is of Bernie Mac.
That's because that one had a big dick.
He didn't appreciate the fox taking his MAGA hat, so.
Actually, that is, it's kind of funny. It comes full circle. The only reason my dad, the pilot, showed up, like, he wasn't really going to pick him up. He's like, those motherfuckers took my hat.
But then it was, instead of a MAGA hat, it was just a Marlboro red hat.
They took his hat, and he actually, like, he was super fucking lost, your dad was, because he thought this is also in that desert where they left all those cans of Bud Ice.
Like, there's got to be some drips left. So, speaking of my dad, we did have a request from the Killer Jobs podcast.
Holy shit.
He's like, you guys have to make a Kevin's Dad t-shirt.
Oh,
which I was thinking about getting
we
2
haven't
shirts commissioned yet.
Yeah.
So our listeners, give us some ideas. Something from the show, either like a quote or like a reference or something you would think is really funny or you like that you would buy a shirt of.
Yeah.
I was going to get that commissioned, I think. That and then like a cartoon, something of my dad, but I need a quote.
You know, your Kevin's dad's shirt is just a shirt that has pockets.
Yeah, my dad always... So this is what my dad looks like. He looks like Sam Elliott, anyone with a mustache, mostly Sam Elliott, but he has a super impressive mustache. He'll have a bandana on, but like not like where it's folded. It's like covers the whole top of his head. And then he always has a Hanes t-shirt with a pocket, and he has a pack of cigarettes in that pocket.
Yeah, and that's all he wants for Christmas. And if you get anything else,
year.
He's not fucking taking it, guys. He wants that.
But yeah, so I might get a couple shirts commissioned. So I was thinking about that.
He also fights deers.
There's another part of the documentary. It happens a few times where he gets real sad. Like, Timothy gets real sad and cries when he comes across dead animals. But the thing is like, these animals are all dead because that's just the food chain. It's just like the way of life. Like, there's dead foxes that were hunted by like other animals, or like a bear that ate its own child.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, there's a part where there's like just a baby cub arm, and he like is crying over it, and it's not funny, but he goes up and like holds its hand and makes sure he gets that shot, and it's pretty fucking lame.
Like he's just being lame.
Yeah. Was there?
These are the creatures you want to save, and they eat each other.
I'll say
so. Checkmate, Timothy Treadwell.
There was
Yeah,
more.
you fucking idiot.
There really was before, not including the 2 that died. I hate saying it, but because of Treadwell, the bears killed more bears than people did there.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, they're major cannibals. Joe Rogan will tell you every time it comes up, which is like every podcast, that bears are cannibals.
Hey man, you ever see a bear on DMT?
So anything else you guys want to mention on Timothy Treadwell? So yeah, I guess that's everything. Spence, you want to hit us to that closing shit? So yeah,
my theory is that Treadwell was abducted by aliens.
Holy shit, my theory is he was killed by Bigfoot because they look like bears.
Oh.
Fuck, man.
Oh, I do want to mention one thing real quick. So they do get his remains, and they do have some ashes, and they're spreading his ashes out in that area. But there's a part, this is so fucking lame. It has the pilot, it has his ex-girlfriend, and then it has his other friend. And they have like this little can with his ashes in, which it's just, like they open it up to spread the ashes, and one girl's like, oh, what all's in there? And she's like, oh, it's his ashes. There's some little plants. There's some bear fur. And the lady's like, oh, where'd you get the bear fur? She's like, oh, I just picked it up off the ground. Oh, that's really cool. Well, what the fuck? She just picked that just picked the fucking hair. Why is that cool?
Just to dump it back on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, the bear fur was mixed in with his intestines.
It probably was. You probably didn't need to do that.
Oh, we picked it out of the remains of his teeth. And
we actually didn't care a lot about the girlfriend, so we picked it out of her.
Yeah.
Even though she didn't want to be there, and it was his fault that she died. But she doesn't matter in this documentary. He does.
So the bear fur, we picked it out of Treadwell's teeth. We're not sure if he was from trying to bite the bear to fight back, or if he just had got done going down on Mucklow.
Mucklow.
All right, brother fans, thank you for bearing with us through this episode.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude, I love that.
We love you all. We want you to make babies with us. If you can't do that, you can support us in some other ways. You can check us out online. We have a website, Brotherscommon.place. Our podcast can be found on all the places podcasts can be found, including the iTunes store. And I like CastBox on Android. Leave us a review on any of those services and send us a screenshot of it so we know you did it and you'll get a mention. But if you want to go all the way, and I mean all the way, you can check us out on Patreon. You can support us at the $1 level, at the $5 level, or the whatever the fuck you want level, and we will reward you accordingly. You'll get access to bonus episodes like the one we're going to record in a few minutes, and you'll never know what we say unless you cough up some of that cold hard dinero. If you want to kind of go in between that, check us out on social media. We got a Twitter, we got a Facebook, we got a Snapchat, Instagram. I think most of them are just Kevin, but I mean, hell, he runs this operation. He's our general. He's like our Sun Tzu. He wrote The Art of Green War.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
And check us out. Leave us a message. Just give us some feedback. We love communicating with all of you. Give us some suggestions, cases you'd like us to cover. And we love all you folks. And we'll see you next time.
Hell yeah. And like Spence mentioned, since I'm not really checking reviews anymore and we don't really do Honorary Brother every week, but if you do leave us a 5-star review, send us a snapshot of it and we'll give you an Honorary Brother shout out. I think that's how we'll do it from now on. And just special thanks to everyone that has already left us reviews and subscribed and shared. And if you do enjoy the show, it would really help us out if you would do that. That really means a lot to us, and we really want to try and make this show actually be something. And yeah, you guys have been awesome. Lately, there's been a lot of people that have been reaching out to us, and that's been super cool. And I got to go to my parents' house because the P.O. box goes there. And my mom said I got like 4 or 5 things at the post office. So special thanks to everyone that sent that stuff. Yeah, my mom called me. She's like, yeah, you got something here from a Wildman from Queens. So thank you so much, Wildman from Queens. Shout out to you. Shout out to Australian Daniel. Also Jocelyn. She sent us stuff and she's like, yeah, you'll know what it is when you open it. It's in regards to the episode with the Robesons. And my mom's like, you got a package here. I don't know what it is. I was like, oh, well, you can open it up and just let me know. She's like, gummy dicks?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
I was like, yeah, I know who that is.
We're going to have to get those away from your dad, but yeah, nice.
Oh, I know.
Jocelyn, I love your name.
That is a sweet name. And also, I want everyone to stick around and listen to our outro that the Bash Brothers from the last Bandoleros put together. It's super fucking awesome.
It's good stuff.
They also have a new song out, and it's super fucking good. Check that shit out. It's called Enamorado. Yeah, we've had some new Patreon, new patrons, new people sign up for our Patreon. And I think 2 out of the 3 the other day gave us addresses. And if you don't want to put in your address, that's completely fine. But I do want you to know that I can't mail you stickers. So if you do sign up for the Patreon, you don't put your address in there, and you want stickers, just message me or email me or something so I can send some out to you. But yeah, thank you everyone that signed up for our Patreon and that's been ordering stuff from Threadless. We got t-shirts and shit on there. And yeah, I think that's everything for me.
Honestly, I didn't really think of anything, and I also kind of have to take a poop. But yeah, so yeah, keep doing, anything you guys are doing. Like, it's all appreciated. It really is. We honestly, even when you guys send us a message or anything, we usually like talk about it later and laugh about it. It's always really, really funny. We get pictures a lot from Raven or that's her name, right?
Those are fucking hilarious.
They are really funny. And
oh yeah, shout out to Sean.
Sean, that's what
from Michigan.
Sean, yeah,
he's been super cool. He's been sending us shit. like a bunch of funny stuff. Like he's listening to all of our older episodes and stuff. So yeah, shout out to Sean. That's badass.
Yeah, I've been reading those. They're funny as fuck. Yeah. All that stuff we do, even if we don't get to it right away, we usually talk about it and laugh about it, and we love it all. So even if it's not just, you know, Patreon or anything like that, even just sending us a message, leaving us a review, whatever you do, we do love it all. If you sign up for the Patreon, great. If you don't, leave us a review, love it. If you don't, just listen to us. You know, send us to a friend. We love all of that.
I think that guy's last name is Barletta. I don't know if that's pronounced right. Yeah, there's been a lot of people, man, sending us some cool shit.
Probably my favorite fan of ours is Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, he's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing great. Yeah, he really has. He's gone back in time and just...
That sucks, though. You remember what happened to him today?
I know.
Oh, I was frozen today.
Oh, good shit.
Oh, also, one more note. I'm sorry. We're going to try and record like a 15-minute bonus Patreon episode every week. Whether it's...
Oh, don't say that.
Oh, we're trying. We're trying. I'm going to try. Sometimes it'll be shorter crime stories. Sometimes it'll just be comedy stuff. But yeah, I really want to try and do that every week to give you guys more incentives to want to sign up for the Patreon. So real quick, because Toof has to go to work now. Toof, my good boy, my good friend, I need you to hit these listeners with some words of wisdom, my dude.
When me and Andrew aren't promoting the podcast, we like to do just shit for fun and like make fun games out of it. So there's this one where me and Andrew, we do this thing where we go to a bowling alley and we stick bowling balls in our assholes. Yeah. And we have to, like professional bowlers, like push them out our anal cavities down the lane. But instead of pins, they have to hit like these bicycle clown horns, and we call it you want the bowl, you get the horns.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah, I love it.
All right, that's some fucking good shit to end it on. So thank you, everyone, for listening. Be good.
Stay safe.
And laugh at the dark stuff.
#Wildman.
#Wildman. Thank you, Mark.
#Pretzel Dog.
Also, because this cracks me up, #Toof, a.k.a. the laundry chute. That was a fucking funny joke that Tim cracked last week, dude. That shit had me rolling. We were talking about the priest, how the belt was the only thing on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
And you were like, yeah, because I made a joke about him throwing his clothes in the incinerator. And you're like, well, he just didn't know how big my ass was. And Tim, while everyone's laughing, it's kind of hard to hear. He's like, yeah, that's why they call you the laundry chute.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I really did.
And #boypussies. Anything else, guys?
It's time to break the cycle of waste and mess. Time to stop accepting that the way things have been done are the way they should be done. Control-Alt-Delete everything you thought you knew about how to period. We're flipping the script, we're throwing out the book, we're challenging the period status quo. The Diva Cup is eco-friendly, reusable, and offers up to 12 hours leak-free protection. So what are you waiting for? Join the inner revolution with the Diva Cup. The Diva Cup is used for menstrual flow only. Always read and follow the user guide. It's time to break the cycle of waste and mess. Time to stop accepting that the way things have been done are the way they should be done. Control-Alt-Delete everything you thought you knew about how to period. We're flipping the script, we're throwing out the book, we're challenging the period status quo. The Diva Cup is eco-friendly, reusable, and offers up to 12 hours leak-free protection. So what are you waiting for? Join the inner revolution with the Diva Cup. The Diva Cup is used for menstrual flow only. Always read and follow the user guide.